Hi students, sorry that I didn't use our time very well today in class in ESP 095. I should have left more time to talk about your homework for English 101 AI. So for this discussion post, it's going to be due Sunday at midnight, and you're using these materials that you used during class today in your AI lesson. And I'm going to try to open this in a new tab. Let's see if it works. For this activity, you are going to be telling your opinions about AI and whether you think it is useful or not. So do you believe the benefits of AI are greater than the potential risks, or do you believe the risks of AI are greater than the benefits? Specifically, Laura's asking you to analyze the learning, decision-making, and emotional growth, those 3 points, okay? So you want to directly answer the question through your typing here, and you're going to say, I believe the benefits of AI are greater than the risks, or I believe the risks of AI are greater than the benefits, and then you're going to give your reasons, and your reasons should be connected to learning, decision-making, and emotional growth. So we were talking in class about how to use a quote from one of the resources, and don't just drop the quote in, okay? And how to include a works cited entry. Laura said she's going to give you the correct format to put in your post. So you do not have to do the my bib that I was showing you guys, but I think I'm going to show you how to do it anyway, just because it's kind of useful. So the important things about writing a quote and not dropping the quote, okay, is to remember to use a quote sandwich. That means that before you use the quote, you need to provide some sort of information before the quote. Then you put the quote, and then after the quote, you have the bottom breadth. You have to explain the connection to the information, okay? If we don't have that top and bottom bread, then it's not a sandwich. It's a salad, okay? Okay, so before the quote, you would say, according to, and then the author's name, or an article by, and the person's name. The author explained that, okay? So let's look at some of the examples using the citation, using the resources that you did in class. So this was something that you guys watched in class, okay? So if you want to use a quote from a video like this, from a YouTube video, I would go down and I would look to where it says show transcript. That's how I usually do it. And then when you see show transcript here, you can see the text of what they're saying. So if you wanted to use one of those quotes, you would be able to find it on the transcript here. On the transcript here. So if I'm going to say something about like I'm going to look for a quote that says, in some ways, to me, that's the most interesting part of the research. It's not so much just the persuasion. Social psychology as an insight into a thing made of software is a very unique approach. So if I'm going to say we cannot, it's very difficult to use technology to evaluate a software, a computer, maybe I would use that quote, okay? Or if there's another quote, like, how is AI affecting people's emotional growth? Maybe I would say AI has worked hard on trying to get the AI to help with mental health issues, okay? And that we could say, we need to think about how to make it more helpful or less harmful. So if I'm going to choose one of those quotes, that's how I would choose that one. This is, when it's a TED Talk, usually the transcript is in a different part. But here I could see the name of the person, Ethan Mollick, right? And here I could see Philip Klockner. So if I was writing my quotation sandwich, I would say, according to And then I would say, according to Philip Klockner, or according to Ethan Mollick. Or if it's an article like that, I could see that this is written by Liz Mineo. According to Liz Mineo, that's what I would say. Okay? After that, you put the quote. Always choose a quote that you understand well. And if you are not sure, you should choose a different quote. You should use a quote that you're more sure about, okay? So a recent MIT study reported excessive reliance on AI-driven solutions may contribute to cognitive atrophy. Atrophy means not growing, shrinking smaller of critical thinking abilities. Maybe I'm going to use that quote, okay? I want to always choose a quote that I understand well. After the quote, explain it and make a connection. So if I was going to use this quote about AI is shrinking our critical thinking abilities, okay, I would say this is similar to my experience because I notice that sometimes my daughter asks me to tell her, she says like, Mom, what's a word that means big? And if I take time, like get off, I'm like, well, huge, large. She goes, oh, you're too slow, Mom. I'm going to ask Chat. And she searches for ChatGPT. But in neither situation is she thinking. She is not using her thinking. She's not even letting me use my thinking. Okay? Or also for the quote, I could say, I agree or I disagree. Okay? And then at the end, you're going to put your MLA citation. So I suggested this website, mybib.com. And it has different sources here, and we're using MLA, which is a certain citation style. So how we do it is we just copy the link and paste it and click Cite. We need to click on it, and it gives us a formatted citation. Now, you don't have to do this because Laura said she's going to actually give you all of those correctly formatted, so you do not have to do this, but it's just for you, for your information. Okay? So overall, how is my assignment going to look? Okay, it's going to be typed here. You could write it somewhere else if you want to, and I would say, I believe that the benefits of AI are greater than the risks, or I believe because of several reasons. And now I'm going to give my reason. The first reason is blah, blah, blah. Another reason is, okay, now maybe I'm just, the second reason I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to use my quote. According to Philip Klockner, is that how you spell it? There he is, Klockner. Okay, according to Philip Klockner, okay, and then I would put my quote from Philip Klockner. That's my quote. Okay. After my quote, so always I have to have something before. This is my bread before, and this is my bread after. This means that now I put my explanation or explain how my connection, okay? Or it means I could say, I agree or I disagree or whatever, okay? And then at the very end, after I wrote everything, I would put my citation, okay? I don't think that's actually correctly formatted. I think it should be Klockner, Philip, like that. Usually we put the author's last name, comma, and then the first name, okay? And then when I finish, I can click Post. If you would like me to read it before you turn it in on your English 101 site, copy it and send it to me, or send it to me as a Word document. You can send it over the weekend too, whenever works well for you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Good luck, you guys. Thank you.